Hello, this is Dave Brixius.
And it's your man, Jay Cleezy.
And this is the program, the CFA edition. Another week down. One more week with the regular season. We're into the playoffs here, which is definitely shaping up to be very interesting.
Yeah.
You know, with teams where they're going to seed. You know, this week's definitely going to decide where some teams are. Some teams have it locked up. Some teams definitely have probably the first seed locked up.
Yeah.
Other ones have some other seeds locked up, but some are still up for grabs. You know, where they're going to be placed and who they're going to be playing against.
Yep, and what makes this week special is basically rivalry week throughout the CFA. All kinds of matchups, neighborhood teams, some not so close, but big weekend this weekend. Before the playoffs. And like you said, some of these conferences and some of these teams are fighting for a playoff position. Some teams can fall from either the 1 to the 4 seed in some, in some cases. So definitely big time football this weekend in the CFA.
Yeah, and you got to love it with the proximity of the teams that are playing. Like you said, Harrisburg, Central Dauphin versus Holy Name, Backyard, Redland, York.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of those games that are going to be played this weekend. And, I know it's only the second year of this massive, awesome organization, but this is what you start to build now. You know what I mean? Backyard. Now let's see if they can continue to build on these rivalries and stuff like that. I think it's great that they put them last game of the season. I know at the high school level they used to do that a lot of times, and they moved them all like the beginning of the season and stuff like that, which took some of the fun out of it.
Yeah.
It's always a rivalry, but you like to see that at the end of the year. But I know we got some great stuff sent into us, some new ones from New Cumberland. Just giving a shout out here to the Pony team. Jaheim Reynolds, if I pronounce anybody's name wrong, I do apologize. Joey Zaworski, Joe Matter, they all scored offensive touchdowns. Ben Eisenhower recovered a fumble for a touchdown. Deuce Dalton had an interception on defense, and Joe Matter kicked 2 extra points. And that's always important, those 2 extra points, you know what I mean? A lot of kids can't kick at that level, so you get, more points for kicking than running it in, so that's great to see as well.
And that could make a big difference in a close game, and you'll probably see that more at the midget level.
Yep.
Of course, the kids are more advanced, so if some teams are lucky enough to have someone to kick field goals or extra points in this case, it's a big advantage.
It's huge because it can come down to that. I know week number 1, just thinking back to one of the Pony games, Harrisburg played Holy Name, and Harrisburg couldn't make the extra points, and Holy Name made one, went up winning. I think it was like 13-12 or something like that. So there you go. There's the difference, or 14-13 or something there. But that was the difference because they made one of their extra points. So that can make all of it. But now jumping up to the midget New Cumberland team, they're sitting at 6-2. Here's a team that started 0-1, definitely recovered, gotten themselves up to 6-2, and the defense is actually playing very, very well, only giving up 2 touchdowns in the past 12 quarters. So in the last 3 games, only giving up 2 touchdowns on offense. They whitewashed, ran right through, and took care of everybody they needed to this weekend. And the surprising thing with the midget program here is they only have 22 guys on the roster, 9 first-year players. So on offense and 6 on defense. So that's very impressive when you got to replace everybody on offense and you're still having a 6-2. So if they win by beating Cedar Cliff, which is one of the rivals, let's be honest, New Cumberland, Cedar Cliff right there. If they can beat Cedar Cliff this weekend, the midget level, then they could possibly get themselves up to a 3rd seed and a first-round matchup with Susquehanna. If not, then they'll be matched up. If they lose, they'll match up probably most likely with St. Joe's. So it's interesting to see. Just another footnote from the Coach Keith, who sent this in. New Cumberland, Middletown are the only 2 programs in the National Conference that have winning records at all 3 levels. That's talking about peewees, ponies, and midgets. So shout out to those guys. That's awesome. Building a nice program right there.
All right, and of course we have our weekly update from Seven Sorrows.
Definitely, Bob. Coach Stone always doing a good job.
I want to give him a big shout out because he gives this to us every week. And their teams are kind of having a little tough time this year, but you know what?
He still does it.
Yep. Start with the Smurfs. Give a shout out to Jamar McKinney, Aaron Nordas. Sorry if I said that name wrong. Braden Dunn did a good job running the ball, along with Ben Heckman, Donovan Thompson, and Jaden Maple. Those 3 anchored the defense. On the PB level, shout out to Jordan Matter, Thomas De La Cruz, and Ryan Souders. They all made some great plays on the defensive end to help lead their team. On a pony level, tough, lost to New Cumberland. Let's see. Tim Wagner, Gage Radeball, Camden Allen and Anthony Larry all stood out for the Seven Sorrows football team on the pony level. And on the midget level, Matthew Schaff had an interception before halftime to keep the Eagles in the game. Blake Keller and LaRon Woody also recovered fumbles in the second half. And Devin Martin was among the defensive leaders for Seven Sorrows. So, good job by those kids, and actually good job by all those teams. At the end of the day, yeah, we want to, they want to win games, but it's good to see that these kids are still playing, playing their hearts out, giving 110%, and finishing what they started.
Yep.
And actually at the PV level, Seven Sorrows, I believe, still will most likely make the playoffs. And at the at the pony level, I mean, they still have a shot at getting the 8th seed. So, you never know. Never know what could happen this weekend.
I mean, everything's up for grabs. I mean, we got another one then from Cedar Cliff, East Penn. I actually got it. Interesting. Got the Cedar Cliff right up, and I also got the East Penn right up. So
both points to you?
So it goes both out to both. But talking about the Pee Wee game, East Penn took care of business, 24-13. Sounded like a good tight game there. Going to the pony one, East Penn 27, Cedar Cliff 6. Cam Gutshaw, DJ Diggs, Daquan Everett had rushing TDs. Blake Balkovich, like I said, if I pronounced that name wrong, I definitely apologize. Had a receiving TD from a pass from Zach Zeiters. Stevie Moore, Marcellus Robinson, Blake, once again, Balkovich had extra points. Defense was led by Daquan Everett, Gavin Gardlinger, and Luke Poacher. So those guys at the pony level definitely getting the job done. 27-6 over Cedar Cliff. Now going on to the midgets. This is a kind of an interesting score because when you really thought about it, Cedar Cliff has a very, very good midget program.
Yeah.
Very, very good team. And I don't know. I guess East Penn was really up for it. I don't know if Cedar Cliff was looking past or what. I don't know what was going on here. But it was 34-0.
I was surprised by that
East
score.
Penn definitely came out ready to play. It looked like Cedar Cliff maybe things just didn't go their way. And once I get in the write-ups, you'll see. But Onassis Neely and Mike Jones had rushing TDs and interceptions each. Nick Nugent had 2 pick sixes. So that definitely changes it. So when you definitely throw an interception, the guy returns it for a touchdown, definitely can change the whole outcome of the whole game. Peyton Morris had a TD pass to Mason Winchester. Peyton also had an interception. Chen Fries and Tanner Garlinger were the leaders on defense with some big hits. And Noah Wilk kicked 2 extra points. So East Penn getting the job done there. Going over to the Cedar Cliff part of it, they wrote up about their midget. They said no offensive touchdowns were scored before half. It was 8-0. East Penn was able to recover a fumble for a touchdown. That was the only score in the first half. Cedar Cliff was able to move the ball, but they just couldn't capitalize on a lot of opportunities. So East Penn seems like their defense bend but never broke to take care of business. Beginning of the second half, Cedar Cliff calls a turnover, put them in potential scoring, try to get this game, try to close the gap or tie it up. And East Penn's aggressive defense once again got a turnover, return for a touchdown. During the play, QB Chase Deal, they got knocked out of the game. So that definitely hurts when you lose your starting QB, especially somebody like a Chase Deal. We've talked about him almost consistently the last couple of weeks, throwing touchdowns here, doing that kind of stuff. Losing that could be a big blow, not only just, all right, his production on the field, but also psychologically for a team. When you have a leader like that, especially a quarterback, sometimes it can definitely just take a toll on the team. And not taking anything away from East Penn, they got the job done, did what they needed to do. Shout outs to some Cedar Cliff papers for Bobby Whalen and Nick Yarvich. And East Penn, I don't have the names, but number 80 and the running backs that I said, Onassis Neely and Michael Jones. But now, those teams are definitely looking forward to the playoffs. I mean, that's right around the corner. Those teams are definitely in. It's just where they're going to be positioned when it comes to playoff time.
And and at the midget level in the National Conference, East Pennsboro actually is a 3-way tie. East Pennsboro, Middletown, and Cedar Cliff all at 7-1, and New Cumberland is 6-2. So all 4 of these teams that definitely have something to play for. And actually, that Cedar Cliff and New Cumberland game is actually a pretty big one as far as seeding goes. I mean, you're looking at probably number 3 or number 4 seed flip flopping right there. At the PB level, you have New Cumberland, who's still undefeated, 8-0. Middletown 7-1. So those two probably most likely be the 2 top seeds. And actually at the PB level, I think all the other teams in the National Conference are pretty much even. even in that pack. And at the pony level, it's Stilton at 8-0, Mechanicsburg, and 7-1. I can guess who beat Mechanicsburg. But they're definitely the best teams in the pony level.
Yeah.
And, not to count anybody out, but it would be a shock not to see them both.
Playing for the championship,
playoffs.
yeah.
But, they're kids. You never know what can happen in the playoffs.
Who's going to show up and who's not going to show up. Or an injury occurs.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just like that happened to Cedar Cliff this week.
And, at the American level, you have actually York and Redland at the PV levels. It should be a decent one.
They play
York
this weekend?
is 8-0 right now. I'm saying decent because York has been
steamrolling people.
Basically.
Giving up almost next to nothing in points,
Mm-hmm.
All year. I know they're going to meet up this weekend, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see where those guys hold up. But you got right behind them, Holy Name and Harrisburg, also sitting at 6-2.
Yep.
So you got, really after that York team, you have bunched up who's going to get that next number 2 seat, who's going to be placed number 2, and it's up for grabs there.
Yep, and you possibly looking at some big round 2 matchups early.
Yeah.
And it's going up to the pony level. As you said, the parity at the top. You have Redland, Holy Name, and Harrisburg all at 7-1, and you have the Harrisburg Packers at 6-2. Guess who plays each other? Packers and the Broncos. That's I'm in Harrisburg. That's gonna be a packed game. It's just gonna be crazy. And, it's for playoff seeding.
Yep.
And at the midget level, the Packers are 8-0 right now. They're probably at the number 1 seed. Holy Name, Carlisle, and CD, Central Dauphin, previously Lingostown, are 6-2 right now. So
yeah,
some good matchups.
that CD and Holy Name game.
Yeah,
it's coming up this week, so you guys see somebody's going to definitely get an upper hand there, and one team's going to definitely fall down the rank of where they're going to be seated. And and this is the time where you got to be ready to go. Late in the season, now it's time not to coast. You got to start preparing mentally and physically to get into the playoffs and where you want to do. Do you want to get that momentum going in? Be ready to go. All right, here we go. Are we ready? Are we stumbling into the playoffs? Hey, we lost one last week. This week, we lost another one. Are we going to be ready to go, or are we just stumbling to get there?
And, as I said, these are kids. So, kids get into a funk. And, coaches don't, sometimes it's hard for coaches to get a hold of that, a hand on that. And hard to, tell them not to overlook somebody they may beat pretty bad early in the season, especially these top seeds.
Yep.
Now, rarely do they lose, but there's always a chance.
Yes, very, very. But looking at that Federal Conference, look down at that midget standings. Honestly, you got Greenwood sitting at 8-0. You got Boiling Springs, Juniata 7-1. Then you got Northern at 6-2. All powerhouse, programs. You got the other one. You got Halifax looking to wrap up. If they get the W this weekend, they wrap up the other half of the division. Yep. They're sitting at 4-4 right now. But that's what you're looking at right now. They got Lower Dolphin, which I think they should automatically get the win. I don't think Lower Dolphin has a midget program.
Okay.
So they should get that W. I think it's a forfeit, so they should get the W and win that conference or that division over on that side. But you're shaping up what you're looking at. You know what I mean? Where teams are going to be sitting, where they're seated, getting ready. I know we're excited to get to the playoffs because I know we want to get out and see these kids play come playoff time. So you'll probably be seeing us at different playoff games because I know a lot of teams play at these different venues now. Yep. It's not just, hey, well, this is the game, boom. These teams are going to be all over the place, all over the map, getting ready to crown that Super Bowl. It's only, 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away now?
So, basically. And just on the Federal Conference real quick, Boiling Springs versus Northern, all across the board at all levels, big games right there. So, as he said, we'll definitely be out for the playoffs and Super Bowls and Turnpike Classics and
you'll see us.
All that good stuff.
We'll probably be set up nice stand there so we can see you guys, especially when it gets closer to the Super Bowl.
I'll definitely have the cameras, so
definitely have all that stuff ready. But it's going to get us. It's going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. I know you are. I know we love getting out to see these young kids, and the coaches and the parents have put in so much time and don't get the publicity or the notoriety that the high school level gets and all that. So we always try to give that back. And I know we get nice emails throughout the week from people saying, hey, guys, thanks for doing this for us. I didn't know how much it was. Guys, we love doing it. It's all about helping promote this sport, promote the kids, help them get out there. That's why we love when we get information. We're more than willing to, pass it on to you guys so you guys can see what we do.
And, it's been really fun, actually. We've been here every single week, except for the 1 week, but whatever. Yeah. But we'll definitely be here for the remainder of the season, definitely throughout the Turnpike Classic as
Yeah,
well. It's the
and you'll
Super
see
Bowl
us
games.
out, at those games too. Set up with the booth and stuff, so you guys can stop up, see us, say hello to us. Stop in, say hey man, blah blah blah. Heck, we have the camera there. We can even get them on camera maybe.
Definitely, you'll see me on the sideline.
You know what I
somewhere.
mean? We'll get some shots of them. Hey, how's the game going? Blah blah blah. But definitely, hey, we want to wish you guys all the best in this rivalry week, last week of the regular season. Definitely the best. Hopefully everybody stays healthy. If anybody is injured, slightly injured, hopefully they get better, so teams can get ready for the playoffs. I love to see teams at full strength. It stinks when a team isn't at full strength in the end of the playoffs, because you never know what could happen. How good they could have been, or blah 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 going on. But definitely, best of luck, guys. We're looking forward to it. Don't forget about
Be safe.
about the PA Academy that's coming up, our Elite PA Academy, Football Academy, which will be starting up in January. So start looking for that. We'll be out handing information out. Definitely ask us about that as well.
I was gonna say definitely check for older episodes of the program. We've been doing this all year. Some of you might be just catching on to it. So
Yep.
if you want to catch previous episodes, you can go to paswag.net and all the episodes should be online.
Definitely. So guys, best of luck. This is Dave Brixius.
This is Joe Cleezy.
This is the program.